We know Kimmel as the badass host of a famous late-night show. Although, what goes on in his life when he leaves the stage? Here's everything to know about his sweet romance with Molly McNearney and the struggles he and his family have faced. Unlike some celebrities who like to keep a low profile, Jimmy is upfront with his fans, often sharing personal details about his life on his show. One topic that he likes to keep somewhat under wraps, though, is his relationship with his wife, Molly McNearney. Although some people warn against mixing your professional life and personal life, Kimmel and McNearney actually met at work. She started as a writer's assistant at Jimmy Kimmel Live and worked her way up the ranks. Actually, Jimmy's late-night show is pretty much one big family affair. Kimmel's cousin writes for the show, his brother is a director on it, and his best friend from childhood and his best friend's father are in the house band. Kimmel's Uncle Frank, a retired New York City cop and security guard, was a recurring character until he died in 2011. And finally, his son, Kevin, works on the show as a production assistant. So, no wonder he found his second love on the show as well, and she is now co-head writer on the show. McNearney told Glamour that when she first met Kimmel, he insulted her when the executive producer told him she competed in triathlons. Jimmy looked up at me and said, "That's really stupid. What a waste of time," she said, laughing. She also said that those words were the first and only thing he probably said to her the entire first year of working on the show. She said that at first she never even fathomed they'd be together romantically, especially since the two were in relationships with other people at the time. Back in those times, Kimmel dated comedian Sarah Silverman, but in late 2009, things changed. Jimmy and Molly developed a friendship, which turned romantic after Kimmel decided to cook all of McNearney's favorite foods, including pizza, crab claws, cheeseburgers, and even a BLT sandwich. The situation confused Molly because she was dating her boss, and if things didn't work out, Jimmy's life probably wouldn't change that much, but hers would have probably changed drastically. Luckily, they both managed not to bring office drama home with them. They don't even carpool to the office. At 10 a.m., he's my boss, not my husband, she told the magazine. He does say he's my husboss, but I refuse to call him that. After 3 years, the lovebirds got engaged while on a trip to Kruger National Park in South Africa. And soon they tied the knot with a whole bunch of celebrity guests, including Ben Affleck, Jennifer Aniston, Justin Theroux, and Matt Damon. With the marriage, McNearney became stepmother to Kimmel's adult son and daughter, Kevin and Katie, from his marriage to his first wife, Gina. McNearney and Kimmel welcomed their first child, a girl named Jane, in July 2014. In their classic humorous style, McNearney announced the good news with a funny tweet. She wrote, "Kids, don't do drugs until you have a baby. Then do all of them." Their second child, Billy, was born 2 years ago. Fans may know that he was named after Kimmel's longtime sidekick, Guillermo, whom Kimmel seems to adore probably more than his own wife. When his son was born, Jimmy was in tears of joy, although after a couple of hours, his whole life turned into a horror story. The baby was only 3 hours old when a vigilant nurse observed that Billy had a heart murmur and looked a bit discolored. She alerted the doctors, who then investigated and found that Billy had a major congenital heart defect. The child was shifted to the emergency room and operated on when he was just a few days old. He had an emergency open-heart surgery performed on him. The surgery had taken 3 hours, and Jimmy Kimmel revealed that those were the longest 3 hours of his life. "It's a terrifying thing," Kimmel said, his voice breaking. "You know, my wife is back in the recovery room, she has no idea what's going on, and I'm standing in the middle of a lot of worried-looking people, kinda like right now, who are trying to figure out what the problem is." The proud dad then showed a photo of his son hooked up to monitors and IVs after the procedure, and a picture of his son smiling a few days later. Kimmel joked, "Poor kid, not only did he get a bad heart, he got my face." The late-night host got emotional as he revealed the whole story during his 13-minute monologue on the show. The host made a special note about his beloved wife. "Most of all, I want to thank my wife Molly. First of all, for allowing me to have sex with her in the first place," he joked. "Also for being so strong and level-headed and positive and loving during the worst nightmare a new mother could experience." He also added that he couldn't ask for a better partner. "I'm so happy we had this baby together. I'm definitely getting a vasectomy after this." McNearney told The Hollywood Reporter that she was on maternity leave at the time, so she didn't know about the monologue before she saw it. But she said she was proud of her husband's strength through their trying time. "So there I am, in my living room, breastfeeding Billy with my mom beside me, and we're watching. I sobbed through the entire thing," she said. "I couldn't believe the strength that it took to tell that story a week after it happened. Billy's health is thankfully improving." A year later, on Billy's birthday, Kimmel posted a cute little picture of his son on Instagram. In the caption, he thanked the nurses and doctors who've cared for Billy, and also those who gave the family their thoughts and prayers. Of course, the comedian, who isn't shy with his political views, asked everyone for one thing to celebrate the special day: to register to vote. Today, the happy family continues to work hard on the late night show, pleasing millions with Jimmy's badass jokes. Thanks for watching! Check out these other great stories from OSSA and subscribe for new videos about your favorite stars.